you are very well versed on different parts of the world. You've very much entrenched yourself in Europe, in Latin America, and now in Africa. So, from a sustainable food system point of view, can you compare these particular three regions? I mean, are they even comparable at all in terms of their food systems? And if yes, what do you see are the major differences? Because, the first thing that comes to mind is Africa, small-scale farmers; Latin America, probably small-scale farmers; Europe is very much industrialized. From your experience, what can you tell us on these three different food systems and how they compare with each other?
Yeah, that's a fantastic, but also a very ambitious question, no, for me to answer. I think there are definitely different levels of economic development, political regimes, poverty, for sure, and also infrastructure, for instance, to bring your goods to the market, that we should consider. But I also see a lot of commonalities. No, for instance, access to land, access to finance, access to markets, access to quality inputs. They're challenging basically anywhere. So that's food waste is another example. That great food losses after harvest is another challenge that it's, I guess, common to our global food system. Something that really surprised me here in Africa is the way the Green Revolution has polluted mindsets. The mindsets of extension workers, the mindsets of policymakers, development professionals, and so on. And that's really alarming to me. I'd say even though it's very popular, no, in public policy, let's say, to work on green revolution kind of solutions, even though the use of chemicals is actually still quite low. Here in Uganda, only 23% of farming households applies chemical inputs. No, another interesting figure is that the false promises study found out that over the last decade, costs of inputs have risen 20%, while the actual yields related to those chemical inputs only improved by 5%. No, so there's definitely something wrong in the logic there. That's a great or an unfortunate point, I think, here in East Africa. Second big challenge to me, and it's been debated largely now with the UN Food Systems Summit, is that our ambition to move forward with a truly sustainable food system and the agroecological approach is positioned as the best way forward to do so. It's actually a political decision. It's not a technical issue. It's not an economical challenge. It's mostly political in my opinion. So that's building that political vision and also having that urgency translate into action. That's a very big challenge we're currently facing. And a final element is corporate capture is real. No, we've seen it now at the Food System Summit itself, and in most of our food systems, unfortunately, we can observe unfair trading practices and oligopolies. No, in meat, in beers, in grains, in tea, in all of those products on the world level. There's only four companies controlling more than 80% of the world markets. I would also say that there is no free market in food, right? The only thing we see, or what we mostly see, I would say, is unfair trade instead of free trade. And so even liberal economists would turn around in their grave